Yeah, last time I had a Facebook Live, I had to get the phone out and start tagging people and sharing it because it wasn't working.
What's working now?
Good. All right.
So we're on. Looks like we're on time, and that's odd for me, anyway. Um, so what's up, everybody? I'm Anthony Mosley. This is Lindsay Frangie, and I said that right, correct?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. And we're introducing this. So I'm going to introduce this show, or a live video we're going to do every week from building your empire for real estate agents and loan officers, and it's going to be called "What's Your Real Estate Story." So the reason we're going to do this is because we're going to go through different people's different stories and how they operate their business. So hopefully it gives you some ammunition and able to help your business, because I think all of us leaders in the industry are very much about sharing knowledge. There's no secrets out there, right? If you're going to take it and run with it, then you're going to be part of the ones that are going to succeed. If you're not going to, then you're going to be part of the ones that are never happy. So today we're talking to Lindsay. And the other day I posed a question on some other media sites or Facebook groups, was who's a great lead converter? And Lindsay came back with her smart ass remark of, I don't do leads, I have relationships. And so from right there, I was like, interesting topic, because we're going to try to build this weekly thing around building your business, building your database, and then how to manage it and how to keep it building over time in order to make your business grow. So Lindsay, tell everybody who you are.
My name is Lindsay. I started out in this business in 2002. And so I'm in my 18th year as an originator. I'm also a branch manager at Alcova Mortgage. I was at the same place for 9 years. They switched names 3 times and eventually went to a company that I could not work for. The ethics were not there for me to stay. So went to Alcova. It was the best move I ever made. We specialize in really getting the deal done as promised, and under promising and over delivering is one of my major things. So we work with first time home buyers, repeat buyers, investors. We do have a few kind of one-off programs, but we're mainly your bread and butter loans, FHA, USDA. I love VA loans, but I've been doing it a long time, and I've built a huge referral base from being in the business so long. I mean, imagine if you're 1 year in, it's kind of hard to make those relationships, but the more you're out there, the more you're going to meet people and the more people are going to trust you. And trust is a major thing for referrals. When you break that trust, word travels fast. When you do a good job and build the trust, they may tell a couple of people, but when you do a bad job, they're going to tell 10, 20 people, and that does not bode well in this business. So that's pretty much my story.
What got you into mortgages?
I went to college for marketing, and I got out with a degree, and I thought I wanted to work for a great, Kellogg's or, Post cereal and do marketing things for them. And I was looking for a job and saw an ad in the paper for a company that was looking for people to train, and said that you could sell loans. And I went in, I took the training, and the rest is history. That was American Freedom Mortgage, and they were actually eventually kicked out of the state for predatory lending. And then they came back, and I have no idea. I don't think they're around anymore, but I think she branched off and created another company. But so that's how I got started in it.
What year was that?
2002.
So we're in a very interesting time right now, and it's not similar, but the only thing I can compare it to is the 2007 and 8 crash. And for you to have made it through that crash, I want to get some insight from you that might help people that are struggling with the second half. I call it the second half. I'm being optimistic of the COVID thing, right?
Right.
what did you do to get it through that time? Like, because our business was very fruitful. If I remember correctly, it was very refi heavy. Interest rates, we could charge and make 14% on deals, and I'm sure we all were. Um, how did you find your new self and get through that time?
I was working for a broker, Lennox Financial, when the crash happened. So I had started there in 2006, and I was put in the Boston market. They called it the Boston market. And Lennox Financial was very good at one thing, and that was creating leads and a stir on the internet and on the radio. And so John Shibley would, say his beef about child abusers and just advertisements that would really pique someone's interest, either call us and yell at us and hang up, or they would want a loan from us. So we did no closing costs. So, when I started in this business, the rates were in the mid sevens. And as the rates started to decline, basically when I started doing no closing costs, every time the rates would drop, if they're not spending thousands of dollars to refinance their mortgage, there's no barrier to the savings. So instead of spending 4,000 to save $100 a month, they would spend zero and save, $80 a month. And we would show them there's no break even because you haven't spent anything. So I spent, those years basically refinancing as rates dropped. And when the crash happened, I was a broker. We had all these lenders that we were sending loans to, and it was like domino effect. I mean, they started hitting the implodometer. We started hearing Countrywide's out, Washington Mutual's out. Big lenders, little lenders, everybody started going under. So luckily, we had a good bit of refi business, but obviously John was not handling things on the back end. So around 2010, that's when Lennox Financial was sold to First Option, and I created a branch of the company he was supposed to sell to. But I mean, there was a time there that, John Shibley was running ads and the phones weren't ringing like they used to. And he would gather us up and our whole team, about 200 loan officers, and say, I'm throwing stakes over the fence. All you got to do is catch the stakes that I'm throwing over the fence. And it's like, dude, it's not that easy. If it weren't for HARP, I don't know if I would have stayed in the business, because HARP really saved me, in 2011, 2012, 2013, where I don't know if I'd still be doing this if that wasn't a possibility, because I did a lot of HARP loans. But really, it just came down to, luckily, I had a husband who was making a salary, because there were some times that I was lucky to close 3 loans in a month, and it was like, you feel like a failure, but at the end of the day, there's just nobody that could be helped because everybody was walking away from their homes. One of the most, excruciating things that I went through was seeing, I rescue animals, and I've always been a dog lover. And a lot of my clients or realtors I would know would say that they went to a house and the animals were left behind. So it's it's a tough thing. I mean, families had to choose, and, they had to get out. They couldn't take dogs to the rental or wherever they were at. So, on top of dealing with listening and trying to help clients who were going to lose their homes, I was helping put dogs in, other families and trying to help out on that side too. But, we were doing 228s and 327s, and 228s and 327s. I would sit down at their kitchen table while we're signing disclosures, and I would give them a plan. And I would say, you have 2 years. Do not file another bankruptcy. Do not have any late payments. What would they do? They go file another bankruptcy. They would include everything but the house. And then came time for that arm to adjust, and they could not get out of it. And unfortunately, a lot of those people ended up in rates above 10% and couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely an interesting time. I don't, people ask if we're going to have the foreclosure crisis like we did before. I don't think the government's going to let it happen.
I don't think we have too much equity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of equity.
A lot of demand for housing too. A lot of demand for housing. So what is your favorite part of your position, of your job?
I love helping people. What gets me up every day is the fact that I'm helping families, whether it's buying a home or refinancing. I like to show people their options. And I can say, I'm not always the best deal. I am 90% of the time. But if somebody comes to me and they have a loan estimate from someone else and they want me to dissect it or to see if it's a better deal, I'll be the first to tell them, hey, listen, this is a better deal and I think you should go with this. And this is better than I can offer you. And that has gone a long way in my business as well. I mean, it sucks to not get the loan, but it comes full circle where those people now trust you. They didn't get to do business with you, but they trusted me.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of referrals from people who they said, he can't qualify for XYZ deal over at this company that I got, but maybe you can help him. And, when it comes down to a referral, obviously a cold lead, they're going to shut the heck out of you. But when it comes to a referral, you've already gained the trust of the person that referred them. So they tend to trust you more off the bat. And after 18 years, I've finally gotten to where, I tell all these companies that call me to sell me leads, I honestly cannot take any more leads than I have right now. I'm referral based and I do not want to buy leads. So it's a great place to be.
I don't know what's worse right now, the political ads or the lead companies that are calling my phone.
Seriously. Or the car warranty people, man.
Yeah. Don't go on LinkedIn either. It's not even worth it because it's just all lead people. And I respect what they're doing because we do it too. Just they need to change the approach a little bit because it's all the same. And if you're one of those lead generation companies and you're watching this and you're one of the salespeople, contact us. We would love to help you with a better approach. Not saying you're whack or anything like that, but I think we're both givers. I mean, Lindsay, every day. Today's National Dog Day.
Yes, it is. I got to post my dogs later. I got 7 dogs. So, yeah.
No way. I have 2 and a unicorn.
You guys have kids. I have dogs. Yeah.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Everything. I ran a rescue. So basically they were someone's trash, my treasures. They came here. Me and my husband fell in love with them and they never left. So yeah. Then I had to give up the rescue because I couldn't take any more dogs.
It's interesting, man. Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. Bless you and your kids and the school craziness that's going on.
Yeah. The older they get, the easier they're getting to do. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it some other time. So let's get into this. You went from being a career lead caller to now based completely off relationships. How does that work? How do you begin building relationships? What does that all look like?
Well, if anybody knows the advertisements from Lennox, it was kind of hard to do it at Lennox because he called agents glorified taxi drivers on one of the ads. So that did not go over well when the refi boom kind of stopped and it's time to do purchases. So, when Lennox kind of sundown at the perfect time, I created a branch of Westar Mortgage. Westar got bought out by J.G. Wentworth. J.G. Wentworth sold to Freedom Mortgage. That's when I left. But, basically I had to flip my script and flip everything that I had been working for of no cost refis. I mean, pretty much everybody had gotten down to the bottom or they had moved on, and gotten a great rate or whatever. So I started getting involved. The first thing that I got was Listing Booster. I got the program and I started trying to promote it. And I didn't have a lot of agents that I knew personally, but I got a letter in the mail for someone who wanted to, hey, if you're looking to list your home, please use us. We're a mother and son team. We're my son's a veteran, blah, blah, blah. So I actually reached out to them on via email and I said, hey, I'm a lender. I received your letter and I'm not looking to sell my home, but I have a program that may help you with your listings. And it piqued their interest. They said, let's talk, let's sit down. And so I showed them the program and we boosted their listings. And the first weekend, or maybe it was a couple weekends after, I shared one of the listings and they got 200 and something leads over the weekend. And they called me and they said, can you please make this stop? And I'm like, what? You want to make it stop? I'm like, these are leads. They're looking at your listing. they're like, I know, but my phone is dinging. It's off, I mean, off the hook. It's dinging. It won't stop. So I told them, like, turn off the notifications because there's nothing I can do about it at this point. So that really got me far. And Terry, the mother of the team, she said, you know what? I'd like to introduce you to the Cobb Association of Realtors. Cobb Association of Realtors is 2,000, well, at that time, about 1,500 agents. And they were looking to nominate people for the board. Well, come to find out, you can't be on the board if you're not a realtor, but they had an affiliate committee that is affiliates of the Cobb Association that they needed a chairperson. So she nominated me. I went in and interviewed, and they accepted my nomination and put me in that position as the affiliate committee chair. And I have been the affiliate committee chair for 5 years now. So that is one of my first suggestions for anyone in this business, whether you are, you've been in it for a long time or you're just starting out. If you need more agent relationships, you need to get involved with the association near you. This is not the association I live in. I live in Cherokee, but I'm in Cobb for that. And now my office that I rarely go to because of COVID, the office is right upstairs from the Cobb Association of Realtors. So I got a little bit of office space in there. So every time realtors come to pay dues or to come to meetings or anything, they see Alcova Mortgage right outside. So that's been my listing booster, taking care of my referrals. The biggest thing that you can do for a referral partner is help them build their business, which Listing Booster gave me a good, starting point for that. Anything I can do to help promote their listings or, do an open house with them or a caravan on a Tuesday, I'm always up for that. Because when you help them, it's the law of reciprocation, I think, where
Yeah.
I feel like they got to give you something back.
Yeah, real quick, I want to Listing Booster. I did the same thing, like with Listing Booster. Close to 7,000 leads last year generated on Listing Booster. People don't use Listing Booster, and it's so affordable. But furthermore, I want to let you guys know, we're going to have Brian or Frank coming up on one of these classes one week, but it has gotten 1,000% better in the last month. Every lead now has opted in with their name, email address, and phone number. Before, it was a lot of opted in with Facebook, which makes it difficult. But furthermore, there's increased touches now and visibility. I don't know what they did. These guys are pretty freaking smart. But if you want to learn more about Listing Booster, contact one of us too. And if you have it and you're not using it, and I'm looking at a couple of the people that I work with right now, I'm looking at you, you need to use it. You're missing opportunity. Huge.
And you have to explain to the agents. I mean, and like you said, the leads have gotten a lot more crisp, a lot more, they want to opt in versus the Facebook opt in. But, they need to understand. And this is where a few of the realtors I just stopped kind of working with because they did not understand that a cold lead is a cold lead is a cold lead. It's no different than, them getting somebody who, when they post on Facebook what their new listing and someone says how much, that person may be looking, they may not be looking right now. They may be looking in a year, but follow-up is the key. And a lot of the realtors that use Listing Booster, they never followed up on the leads. I would, but it only goes so far. I'm not the realtor that listed the property. So, there's only so much I can do. So I put them in long-term drips in my CRM. We use Surefire here. I used to use, we used to use, who the heck is it that we used to use? Golly gee, it's I can't remember, but it was a large company and Total Expert. And Surefire has a lot of bells and whistles, but Total Expert was way too advanced for anybody to try to figure out easily. Surefire top of mind, that is the bomb. I mean, I cannot say enough good things about it. Yeah. I mean, I can put them in a certain drip, a buyer cold lead. and they'll get a 12-month drip and I don't have to think about it anymore. But when it comes down to it, that was one of the biggest things is that, realtors would say, well, I called that person and they hung up on my face. And it's like, well, I mean, it is somebody who's just wanted to see your listing, and we have to keep in touch with them. You have to keep top of mind.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I mean, in our business, we're prospectors, and our job is to show people how we can help them, right? And a lot of people are interested in notions of does the lead suck or do you? And if you call that lead up and you come off like a salesperson, you're gonna get the return of a salesperson. So when God, I don't want to get off topic, but I wanted to go into that with you. Maybe if we have time. But my point is to sharpen up your skills, and we have some things coming up on that too. Don't sell, present, right? And I've seen Listing Booster work very well lately. I've seen, but we're getting off the leads. So what we're talking about is, so Lindsay is helping her referral partners with their business is obtaining the trust and the reciprocal effect, if that's what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes. Help them succeed. You want to help them build their business. The biggest thing for referrals is making them look good. The last thing you want to do is throw them under the bus, because that's not going to get you any more referrals. And unfortunately for me, a lot of the kickback I've gotten from, agents that were starting to use me, and they're like, well, why don't, I never got a lead from you. Why don't you send me a lead? And I would talk to them about Listing Booster and how I can produce many leads for them. It's just a matter of following up. And, for me, a lot of the people I get are referrals. They come with agents already attached to them, or they're refi clients. I don't buy leads. I'm not going to pay to, market on Zillow. I've done that. I've been there. I barely broke even on those leads. A lot of foreign people come on and they're doing loans that I cannot do. I mean, if you're working in France and you want to buy a home here, I don't have that product. I don't have any program for you. So for me, it's all about making them look good, honoring what you say you're going to do, and giving them something of value because they feel like they have to reciprocate.
Yeah. One other thing I noticed about you is that you very much are knowledgeable about who your people are, and meaning also who your clients are. So who you can work with and who you can't. I see a lot of new originators. They will try to do everything. And being a master of all is what?
You're not a master at anything.
Yeah, master of none.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring up this next question. When you mess up, all right, how do you maintain trust in your relationship with your referral partners when you mess up?
I've only done it a couple of times. And the worst thing, and this is why LOs have such a bad reputation, they wait until the last minute to say something. You have rip the Band-Aid off. Go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off, because pulling it off slowly, you are just going to burn relationships that will never use you again. So, the couple of times in my career that it's been on me, I messed up. I went and ate humble pie and apologized profusely and said, our team is trying to fix this. We're working on, XYZ, or something was missed that we should have caught in the beginning. And basically, being humble and being honest, it goes a lot further than you'd think. I mean, there are some very, uptight agents or borrowers that might yell at you. But at the end of the day, everybody makes mistakes. And if they messed up at their job, I would hope that nobody called them and screamed and called them choice words and hung up. I would never do that to somebody. So usually when I have made mistakes, they apologize later because they acted out on it instead of letting me handle it. So that's the biggest thing. Go to them immediately.
Well, we got to have empathy. We got to know like that check could be their house payment for the month, right? And I'm missing part of my ass because I've had my ass chewed so many times, and you do have to take it. I mean, you did mess up.
Yeah.
And it's okay to mess up. I want everybody to know that it's okay. Learn from it though, right? But don't blame other people. That's the worst is, oh, my underwriter overlooked it. Bullshit. If you took a loan application, you should have known everything up front. And that loan should have got to the underwriter without them having to deny it. If an underwriter denies a loan, it's because you missed something up front. Pure believer in that.
Well, and I'll tell you a story. I have a agent that has started using me, and she referred another agent in her office, and he getting Zillow leads all day, every day. I mean, and he would just forward them to me. And it was great. I was taking them and I was like, okay, he doesn't know I'm paying $41 a credit report, but this is getting expensive because none of these people qualify. And he finally got somebody, and he did not have control at all of the buyer. I mean, it was a week after the contract was signed. I was trying to get disclosures out. He was, the agent told him to check Quicken. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I texted him and I said, hey, so-and-so has been shopping me, and I understand I encourage shopping, but we're under contract. We're supposed to close in 33 days, and I need to get started on this. The volume is way up. And he says, save your speech for XYZ. That's your problem. And I responded to him and I said, listen, I understand, but this is a team effort. We're working as a team to get this buyer what he wants, and that's the house on the closing date. I'm just trying to see if you will let him know that at this point, contract signed, the lender is listed on the contract. In Georgia, you have to notify the seller if you're going to change lenders, and you used my pre-approval to get the contract signed. So if this is going to go somewhere else, I need to let the listing agent know. This is my reputation. And he's like, sorry, I don't care. So I made a decision right then and there that that's not somebody I want to work with. After this transaction is done, which it closes on Monday, I'm going to be done, because if you can't work with me as a team, if we're working against each other, I don't want to be part of that. You can go and send all your deals to Quicken. I mean, see how that goes.
Yeah. Take the higher road.
Yeah.
Work with the people you like, love, and trust.
Yes.
That's another hint for you guys too. If you're going to try to build these relationships with people, do it based off more than just money. It's like if the analogy of you're going to go find a husband or a wife and you're going to marry them because they're rich and they're going to just either beat the hell out of you every night, or you don't want to wake up next to them. I mean, don't do it, man. No. Be pure with your intentions. It'll work out. All right. So we got a couple different requests in here to meet again about Listing Booster. How about Lindsay and I put together a class for Listing Booster? If you guys are excited about that, comment below. We'll put together a special group for that inside of here or outside of here, wherever. Also today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I gave this invite out last night, but Hero Nation is giving, it's actually posted on this page somewhere, but it looks like doing a class on how to build your team. We're going to be going into a little bit today of when to hire, how to hire, who to hire. So one thing a lot of people are talking about that are doing a lot of business right now, like these guys like Match Paradise and all these guys closing freaking 100,000 loans a month, is that they're swamped. Well, now's the time to build, right? So Coach Wayne Salmon is going to go through that, and we're going to allow you to join that today for free for one time, right? Lindsay,
I just hired 2 people. I wish I would have seen that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he said that. Nash said that last night too. He's like 4 people that he hired, but still, hop on today if you want. So like I said, comment below if you want us to put you in this group that will do the training for Listing Booster. We'll do that. We'll actually get the the guys who design Listing Booster on there too. And we're committed. Like I said, Mitch put this community together to help everybody build each other's business. Freaking awesome idea. I love giving. Lindsay loves giving. We'll give back to you guys as long as you keep giving to other people.
Yes, and P.S. We do not earn money off of promoting Listing Booster. It is all, organic, basically us being successful, and we want to help you be successful. So that's why we push it.
And the shit is so easy. I mean, I'm addicted to it now. It's like fishing. Like, you're waiting to see how many leads you get from casting that bait out there.
Yeah.
But relationships, if you have more questions for Lindsay, friend her on Facebook. She might not have any more friend capabilities. Message her. Remember, be authentic with it. Be intentional with it. Don't be fake with it, and go into it with a giving mind frame. Don't just go in to take. And Lindsay, appreciate you hopping on at short notice. And
Happy to help anytime. And I love the group that you've created, you and Mitch, and hope to see a lot more help out there for those who are struggling. I know a lot of people are stressed out. A lot of mortgage women and men are just at their end of their rope because of kids and school and COVID and everything else. So I just hope that everybody sticks it out. They say it could be another 12 to 18 months of this. And so my biggest thing that, tell people, new people, is save your money, because it will not always be this way. Do not go out and buy a bunch of stuff that won't matter in a year. Obviously, if you want a toy, you deserve it because you worked your tail off. But at the end of the day, it's feast or famine in this business. And my biggest thing is save, save, save.
Absolutely. And be prepared for the next thing that's going to come at us. We don't know what it's going to be. Just be prepared, right? So you can look at this as it's a damn pandemic, or it's the best damn pandemic ever. There's so much opportunity for all of us. So let's get out there and get it. Lindsay, thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you later on today. If not, like I said, comment below, guys. Lindsay and I will put together this group for you, and we'll run it. And everybody, go out there and do something amazing today. All right?
Yes. Bye, guys.
See you, Lindsay.
Bye.